What's up, guys? All right, injuries today. Brunskill will be limited. Ty Davis Price out. Croft out. Armstead will be out. Trent Williams out. Ross Dwelly out. And Aziz is out. Go ahead.
I don't know if this falls under game plan or anything else, but when Brunskill does return to practice, will he be a guard or center?
Both. He works all inside, and he's played tackle also.
Does that move Hans out to tackle?
He can do all too. He's done all five for the Browns. He's been working all for us too.
Any update more on Trent Williams' ankle and how severe it is?
No, we're still hoping he doesn't have to go on IR. Won't need surgery or anything like that, but still not sure with the high ankle sprain.
Obviously, it's plantar fascia. Is that right? Is that improving, or is he better than last week, or who knows?
Yeah, it is improving. I mean, he was real close to going. We thought he did good in that workout before the game, but we held him back, and it's still the same today as it was on game day. So hopefully it'll be good by Monday.
What is the state of readiness of Mason and Mack as far as being able to share more of the load in the backfield?
They're as ready as they can be. I mean, Mason's been here a lot longer than Mack. Mack's got 2 weeks in, I believe. If we would have stayed on the field longer, they would have got in. You know, we would have rotated Jeff more. But we didn't have many long drives there in the second half, so his stamina was fine.
How was Tevin looks just to have seen those assistants?
He's looked good. I mean, just getting him back last week, you know, we had him on those 2 full-speed practices, and he was good. Probably would have been up versus Denver if it wasn't for the altitude and stuff there.
Did Evero end up playing you a lot like the Rams do? I mean, could you see his background and what they did against you guys?
Yeah, definitely. It's all those same coverages, fronts. I mean, Seattle does it, Green Bay does it, the Rams do it, Chargers do it, Broncos do it. So there's a lot of teams who play that same style.
You told the Denver area reporters that, you know, with so many teams running your style, there are more defenses that see it during the season. What does that do to you? Does that mean that you have to sort of evolve more quickly, adjust more in a game when there's some familiarity there?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really change much. You know, they have different ways to mix stuff up. So it's all about hitting the right ones versus the right mix-ups. It's more of like a Rolodex deal, and it's trying to hit the right ones and having answers versus the wrong ones. It's always like that. The things that you do to exploit it, when you do it a lot of times, then you see other people do it a lot too. So all that stuff happens. Just defense just get better and better at it. So you got to keep pushing the envelope.
With Mike McDaniel no longer around, how does that workflow now work as far as scheming the run game? Is Chris Firster, has he just kind of stepped into that role, or are you dividing?
No, I think I answered that a few weeks ago. Brian Fleury's done a good job of it. I mean, Chris is the same as he's always been with it. Chris is a huge part of the run game. The organization and stuff of typing it up and getting all that stuff together, installing it, have Fleury do that.
Your Nickelbacks, is it a game plan thing, like which style Lenore or Womack is better against the matchup, or is it just like, I think you'd mentioned that Lenore had been playing so well that felt like he had earned that spot. How do you see that in terms of this week's matchup with Cooper Kupp?
To me, we just felt Demo gave us the best chance to win last week. We thought he was a better player at that time, and we'll see how we feel this week. But it's no more than that.
But is it matchup?
No, it didn't have to do with who we were going against.
When you look at the Rams now, you probably know them better than anybody. How have they changed a little bit with Bobby Wagner in there, and what do you see about their defense?
They don't change much. It just gives them a few more options. You know, Bobby's a middle linebacker who's also a very good pass rusher. So each week they can play him at different positions. It's the same thing they do with Jalen. I mean, Jalen's sometimes a corner, sometimes he's a nickel, sometimes he's their 3-4 edge backer in a nickel front. They do that with everybody. Now they can do it with Bobby. They don't put him at corner, but it's just switching people up, testing your rules, all that stuff, which you know, it's tough when they have those guys out there, how to mix it up.
Stafford was sacked 7 times in the first week, and then
Who's that?
Stafford was sacked 7 times in the first week, 1 each the next 2 weeks. Was there anything significant that they changed, or are they just playing better?
No, I mean, I think they went against a real good defense. I think they had to throw it a lot more in that first week. But, I mean, Matt does such a good job of getting rid of the ball. Regardless, it's hard to get to him. But anytime you can make teams one more one-dimensional, you get a lead like Buffalo did, it's a lot harder to get away without having those sacks.
Can't really obviously replace Trent Williams, but McKivitz did step in last year in the last regular season game and held his own. What qualities does he have that enabled him to hold his own against the Rams?
Just the game's not too big for him. That was such a big game, and we were really hoping we were going to have Trent, obviously. And Trent tried his hardest all the way up to game time. And I just remember when we told Colton he was up, and it was no big deal to him. And he went out there and he performed. It was a huge challenge going against those two edge players they had, and he battles all game. Whether he gets beat or not, he's going to be there every play, and that's always gives you a chance.
This is going to be a little random, but with Emmanuel Mosley and Juwan Jennings, when each of them came into the league, they had a bit of an uphill battle. How have you seen them help each other improve, and do you think there's anything to the bond that they had as college teammates?
It is random because I forgot they were college teammates. But that makes sense. They're both similar to me. I mean, they're both such scrappy dudes who, like, they just compete every single day. How you guys see them on game day is the same as how I see them in OTAs or training camp or practice today. So they have that same style. And I think that's always been their case. I think that's why they're good college players. But that's also why when they were on practice squad, how much they made plays, how they look the same. And to me, that's why they get so much better each day. Every day they're trying to be their best, and you just keep stacking up days, and you don't have setbacks with injuries. And usually those things happen to guys like that.
When you guys are reviewing film of that Denver game and you see Debo get open a few times and not get the ball, how does he handle that?
He handles it fine. He understands. I mean, there's busted coverages that happen, and people they busted two coverages. It was twice in a bunch. One was Debo down the middle of the field. The other one was Ayuk in the same bunch, all alone down the field, but we threw it to George on the other side. They handle that fine. If they understand why the quarterback can't see that. You don't have a clicker in your hand, and there's certain ways you're looking and stuff. And now, if they were number one and ball was supposed to go there and they were staring at him and we had the pocket, he would handle it all right, but it would be frustrating, but that's not the case.
You obviously felt good about us going into year two, but has he exceeded what you thought he could be doing at this point?
We knew he had a chance. He's like this in practice a lot. He's been great all year, and when I look at some of these clips from last year, some of the plays he was in last year making. We played Chicago earlier in the year, and I think that was Huff's first start, so I got to see him. I watched him this year from Chicago last year. Just watching a Rams game from earlier in the year, he got to play Monday night versus them in the first game last year, so he looks the same. We should have played him a lot more last year.
During the game, good, nice close-up shot on Jimmy after the interception, and amateur lip readers around the country have tried to figure out what was being said there, but clearly he was frustrated. Do you guys have the give and take after the game, the days afterward, where you express your frustrations with him, and maybe he does the same? What's your give and take like after?
Is like it is with one of my friends. I mean, we are Jimmy are around each other every single day, so there's not any awkwardness from us or anything that's kept from each other. I don't know the clip you're talking about. I got it on my notes before this press conference, but I'm not a very good lip reader, but I probably won't watch it.
Was there frustration, disappointment after that game between you two then?
I was disappointed in it.
Referring back to the clip, then you said you didn't see the clip, but you'd understand if he was frustrated. Was there frustration between you guys?
There's frustration with our whole team. First of all, the clip to me is a joke, so I can't believe we're talking about it. I'm pretty sure that's not what he said, but we were extremely frustrated from the whole game. Anytime you are doing well in the first half, moving the ball, and you get in the second half and you have 3 turnovers on 3 of your drives, you have a safety on 1, and you don't convert a third down, it's real frustrating to get anything going.
Last night, the win on Monday night against the Rams kind of got you guys going in the right direction and on that run. Do you feel like a win this year on Monday night could kind of do the same thing?
I feel like a win's important. I would love to get a win, and then we'll see how we play the next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone doing? Good. What you guys have?
How much pride in your room do you guys take when one of the guys in that room gets a NFC Special Teams Player of the Month?
A lot of pride. Really happy for him. You know, he's worked extremely hard, and he knows it takes all those guys in there from Pep snapping, Robbie's input, and really all the guys covering and all the guys in there. So just really happy for Mitch. Well deserved.
What has he done so well? Like, I guess a fresh set of eyes you coming in here. What kind of stands out to you about where he is with his game and what he's been doing so well?
I think he's really talented, number one. He has a lot of leg strength. But I think what I've noticed is just his approach mentally to the game, and him, I think, really thinking about the kicks that he wants to do, and even in the situation, in game situation, and in practice. And I just think the mental approach to him, I've really been impressed with, and he's really taken ownership of that. But there's no doubt he has the physical tools, too.
65-yarder after the safety. I think Denver took over on their own 19 after that. What's typical? What are you expecting after a safety in those opponents?
Well, if you're returning it, you're expecting to be at midfield. So most of the time, that's really the judge. You're minus 15 yards back, and everything's a little bit different. So that was a tremendous play by Mitch, actually, where he placed the ball and allowing guys to cover it, and then the coverage was really great. And when you can get a penalty on that, I don't think often you see the ball inside the 20. So that was an excellent play by those guys.
Do you feel like he's benefiting from not doing the kickoffs? I mean, is that leg stronger than what it would be if he was doing that as well?
Oh, I think so. I think it's two different movements, and when you're working that throughout the week and in a game, and it takes some stress off that for him to focus on that, and he's still able to kick off if we need to. But I think that focus for him has been nice.
With Robbie doing the kickoffs, it seems like he really enjoys the strategic element of that, especially. Does that go beyond just the kickoffs? It seems like he's really.
Well, Robbie's into everything. He loves to watch football. He knows football. So really, not only is he a specialist and a kicker, but he likes breaking down everything. So he likes to look at the kickoff return of the opponent, and he'll come give me notes. So it's great. Yeah, he likes all that stuff.
Is it unique for a kicker?
Very unique. Most kickers obviously watch themselves and do that, and they watch all the kickers throughout the league, and they look through that. Not many of them that I've been around break down the big four or the front line on kickoff return or anything like that. But he really loves it, enjoys it.
You know his brother very well?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, we've met a couple times down with the Chargers.
You think that kind of comes with the territory?
I would think so. Yeah, I just know he enjoys doing it. Know he's coaching his kids' football teams now, so I think he might be a coach at heart.
There were a couple of kickoffs when Ray McLeod got pinned in the corner and he tried to run across the field. Is that what you'd like him to do in that situation, or do you want to get?
It kind of all depends. We had a big field return. In hindsight, me looking back at that, it wasn't a very good plan in terms of what we wanted. I needed to adjust earlier on that. But every game is different in terms of what team you're going against, what they do well, and how we're trying to attack them. So, yeah, sometimes it's big field, sometimes it's boundary.
Good. Just one, this organization invested a lot in special teams this offseason with some of the new guys coming in. How do you just feel about where you guys are 3 weeks in?
I think we're on track. I think there's a lot of things we can improve on in the little details. And in fact, I told them all I need to keep improving as a coach on coaching the details, and they need to keep working on fixing those on the field. And it's not a lot of huge things, I should say, but there's a lot of little things that I think we can do better to improve. Thank you.